Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys. Today, I want to talk a little bit about some things you can do to be better prepared for what could be coming down the line. Now, here's the thing. This is not a fear video. Yesterday's video that I had done that had a lot of views, it was basically to explain that there is a lot of fear videos out there. There is a lot of stuff to be worrying about, a little bit, I should say. Not all of it is going to directly affect silver and gold in the short run. However, it could have a big effect on you. As tensions are escalating both in Europe and in the Middle East, I don't know how many of you guys have been following what happened recently. There's conflicting rumors going around that two of our F-18s were shot down near Yemen and in the Red Sea. It was kind of interesting because when I've read a lot of the different articles, obviously Houthi fighters are claiming responsibility for them, and the U.S. is saying, no, it was a mistake. We had an F-18 leaving the carrier, and all of a sudden, our own ships opened fire on it. What to believe right now is kind of crazy because I've been military, and a lot of these F-18s, our ships, we all put out a signal, and it's hard to mistake that. Now, what could have really happened? You know, no one's going to know 100%. Well, some people will, the people that were there. But obviously, when you read a lot of the stuff, I hate to say it, it doesn't look like it was friendly fire. I know what the news is calling it, and it's kind of, I think, going to open up tensions. It's going to continue escalation. I was really wondering what precious metals were going to do today, as soon as the markets opened up last night. And there's still a lot of stuff going on right now surrounding this. So it does put some worry out there. And so I want to talk a little bit about some stuff that you can do to maybe be a little more prepared for what could happen, what tensions could. A lot of people have this belief that, nah, that's overseas, it ain't going to affect us here in the United States. To a certain point, that is true. However, if this escalates, it could affect us here. It will affect us here, I believe. A lot of stuff is imported here in the United States. We do make a lot of stuff, but here's the thing. We don't make near enough stuff for the average American. The majority of our stuff is imported from other countries. Instantly, if stuff escalates, countries will start taking sides. And you have a lot of issues that could start coming up. Now, the conversation went on that kind of inspired this video we were discussing the Philippines and how, because the Philippines are so dependent on themselves, they live a modest lifestyle, they're not really worried 100% on what happens. They don't have to worry because they don't have much. They're not like here in the United States where we have so much. And, I mean, if they don't have your kind of soda, people complain. It's like it's the end of the world when they run out of something at the grocery store. And I find that kind of comical because it's something that I think people should try to, what's the word? I don't want to say humble yourself, but definitely live a little more within your means. As things continue to escalate, you can expect work, jobs, manufacturing. A lot of stuff will slow down. Some people say, no, it will pick up because we won't be importing as much stuff, and that's a possibility. However, I'm not convinced people will be buying as much stuff because they're not going to want to be paying the prices. Americans generally don't want to work for low prices. A lot of people now, if it ain't a $15, $20 an hour job, they don't really see the point of it. It's kind of funny. I actually went to McDonald's for the first time in a long time the other day just because I had something pop up on my phone about some kind of a deal. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get me a couple double cheeseburgers. Buy one, get one free. I was in a rush, and I said, I'm going to get a couple of them. And I happened to pay the lady in two $2 bills. And I looked at her and I said, you probably don't see them every day. She goes, no, I've never seen one. I don't even know what to do with them. I'm just going to put them with the ones. And I was like, I would put them under the rolls of coins. Fold them in half, put them under there. That way you don't accidentally give one away, to someone as a $1. She goes, I'm not really worried about it. And I'm like, in my mind, I kind of got a kick out of that because that's the way a lot of people are now. They don't care. They're just working a mediocre job. They're not really getting paid that much, and they really don't care. And as that continues to happen here in the United States, you have to understand that that's making our labor force quality go down. It's making a lot of stuff just, I don't want to say decay, but, it's just causing a lot more problems because people really don't care about their job. They don't care what happens, and even if they get laid off, unemployed, a lot of people have this belief that the government will be there for them. And, when I was talking to the Filipino lady that I was talking to earlier, she said, yeah, over here, if you need something, the government will help you out. There's a lot of, they have Medicaid, they have, if you're sick or something, a lot of different things that you can do that will make it to where you're all right. And I said, yeah, but you got to understand, this system is not sustainable. And she said, no, it's probably not because someone's got to pay for it. And that's exactly the problem. So one of the things that I would say that people have to start to realize is being dependent less on the system is going to put you in a better spot. I actually have a friend of mine that he said his dad taught him to never, ever take anything from the government. And I said, well, whoa. I get a military retirement check. I kind of want my check. He said, no, I understand. He goes, but you're a little different. You obviously you earn that check, but you are well aware that that check could stop someday. There's a lot of people out there that have no understanding that Social Security could come to an end. Military retirement could come to an end. And while all this is going on, we got senators asking for pay raises now. Oh, we deserve a pay raise. We deserve more money. You know what? If they can't solve the problems that's going on right now, I don't even think they should get a paycheck. They should be number one to have their pay stopped because they're not solving any of the problems that we're dealing with. And this situation is just getting worse and worse and worse. People need to consider, I guess, taking one for the team, especially if you're a politician. But it's probably not going to happen. It's greed at its highest levels, essentially. If you are not relying on the system, you are more self-sufficient, you're probably going to be okay no matter what happens. But a lot of people are not that way. They don't see the possibility of something bad happening. And a lot of that comes down to the news. The news is not going to tell you that anything is amiss. I know a lot of the conversations that's going around on the internet is that carrier group pulled away from Yemen because of hypersonic threat missiles. And once you have a situation like that, we think, and I'll be honest, I've always thought we were the top dog, even in military. But the hypersonic missiles do change a lot of stuff. And a lot of people that have been around for a while understand that no world reserve currency goes down, unfortunately, without a physical escalation of tensions and basically a physical fight. It's happened over and over again. I mean, once you're the top dog, you're not going to give up your position without a fight. Unfortunately, I think that since we have downgraded essentially our military, being prior military, I think that weakens us a little bit. And will that change and maybe they'll ramp up the military again? That's a possibility, but it's hard now to do. Once you downgrade it, that can cause more and more problems because it's hard to fill those spots. Now, I have been hearing a lot about Elon and Trump now wanting to essentially advance technology more in space. Obviously, when Trump was in office last time, he did make the Space Force, and some people thought that was an absolute waste, and maybe to a certain point it was at the time, but it's looking more and more now like things could continue to escalate. And where is more advanced weapons going to come from? So I'm kind of curious to see how some of this is going to play out. Like I said, I'm expecting we could see some tension in the precious metals markets. We could see it in the oil markets. A lot of it is going to depend on what comes out of this whole Yemen and carrier group and what happened in the Red Sea as more evidence comes to light. And I urge people, take a look, read some of the articles out there. Don't just read articles that are, I guess, Americanized. I don't know if I should say that, but at about how I would word it. You know, we put out what we want people to know. Just like we're not putting out that there's any kind of a recession going on right now, even though you would have to be foolish to not think that the economy is slowing. And once you realize that and you see they're not putting that out, well, what else are they not putting out? Now, I'm an American. I'm an American first. But I do also understand that, you know, they don't want to tell people some things for obvious reasons. We portray ourselves like we're the top dog. If there's something now that can put a threat to our carrier groups and stuff, like hypersonic weapons, at first when I'd heard it, I said, I don't know if I buy it. I think that's just them saying stuff. But recently now, with that happening this past weekend, I'm a little more concerned, like something happened. I'm not convinced that a F-18 was leaving a carrier and all of a sudden its own ships opened fire on it just like that. I understand that we have Sea Whizzes and stuff like that that will open fire on anything in the air, but it's something, you know, that something just didn't seem right when I had read them articles. I said, nah, I don't buy it. And realistically, you know, drones and missiles are looking like it's going to be the next big thing. And once you understand that, who knows? We'll see what happens. I think it's important that you're more reliant on yourself. I think it's important that you're stacking precious metals. If things do start going sideways, the dollar will lose value faster and faster. I'm not saying it will lose value overnight, but despite what some of these nut jobs that leave their crazy comments try to spew, I had someone leave me a comment yesterday that supply and demand has no effect on silver. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What in the world are some of these people thinking? It's just crazy to me. And once you understand things that you can do, you can start preparing. It doesn't mean you got to go off the deep end and maybe go extreme, but it does mean, you know, pick up some extra stuff just in case. How long would you last if you ended up locking yourself down in your house right now? You couldn't go anywhere. The stores are closed. That's it. How long would you last? Would you last a day or two? Would you at least last a week, couple weeks? You know, a lot of people have this belief that if anything major happened, the government would be there to help you. Government can only be there to help you when it's a small case scenario. And what I mean is something like Katrina, something like Harvey, something like some fires out in California, you know, but they can't be everywhere at once. And I would not be surprised to see stuff start seeing more problems here in the United States. We've been top dog for a long time. We have a lot of influence, or we try to influence a lot of countries around the world, and now it's looking like it could start to be a problem. People are starting to get tired. Countries are starting to get tired of it. You know, hey, you do things your way over there, let us do things our way over here. You know, I mean, who knows? With that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Hopefully you are preparing yourself for what could be coming. Like I always say, it's not just about precious metals. First thing I would have is a source of water that's not your tap water, and a source of food that you have actually on hand or close to. After that, some kind of means of security. Once you have security, then get into precious metals. This is not financial advice. It's not just my opinion, and what people decide to do with that opinion is up to them. So I thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it wasn't just about precious metals today, but there's a lot going on that people aren't really talking about. So it's definitely important to maybe do a little homework and look into it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.